I want to know about all the guts moves.
Uh-oh.
You know, there's a mind map you put out there. Here, let me show it.
Turn it
How
around.
to sell with guts.
Yeah, turn it around. The really good mind maps on the back there.
Yeah, so back here on the back, the guts moves. Reject the prospect, opposite direction, no presentations, money up front, commitment, ask the questions, high self-esteem, chutzpah to the max.
No.
Servitude.
Say it right. As someone correct him, it's not chutzpah. Only a guy from Independence, Missouri would say chutzpah.
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 Oh my
Chutzpah?
gosh.
We need to
I heard that down the hole. Good Lord.
What's a chutzpah?
Chutzpah.
Sound like chutney or something?
Chutney, yeah. Chutzpah. Good Lord.
I've never seen it on the menu before. This is the first time I've been here.
You know what chutzpah is? Anybody have a definition?
Say the nice one.
Unmitigated gall.
Unmitigated gall. Thank you, Sean, with the nice definition. There you go. I always use the example of the Menendez brothers. They murdered their mother and father in Bel Air, California in bed, and then they pleaded mercy on the court because they were orphans. Okay. There we go. Go ahead, Justin. You're in charge, man. I love everything you said, and I'd love to talk about all those different aspects of guts. Absolutely.
So far, I've only read from the back of your book, so you have to love everything I've said. No servitude.
My book is very popular in bathrooms all across America.
It's a great book. I think you give this one away for free to special people, but I'm not sure.
We got to stop. We got to stop that. Why are we in business, ladies and gentlemen?
Make money.
Make money.
No, wait, you left out the most important word.
Every day.
Today, baby.
Today, yeah.
Today. What happens tomorrow?
Make money tomorrow.
Who knows? I mean, a meteor will hit or something. Yeah, we don't know. It's about today. When should we enjoy life?
Right now.
Right now. Every day's a gift. Enjoy it right now. Justin, you're on.
No servitude is the next one. Step on their toes is the one after that. And then the last one here on this mind map is get a dog hairy. So I know we talk a lot about, at least in my club, we talk about the agenda, the qualification stage, and the closing stage. But we haven't dived in or dove in to these guts moves and really pick them apart. And so I wanted to interview you today about these particular, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guts moves. And I'd like more clarity on them. And maybe other folks here will get some out of that too. So what I did was I put each guts move on the wheel of fortune here.
Oh God, you got to see that. He built his own. Hey, Claudia, he built his own wheel. He thinks he's Vanna White. He built his own wheel.
So actually, I think a good place to start on the wheel would be one of these guts moves, which is opposite direction. And you can see on opposite of the wheel, I have reject the prospect, which is also a guts move. And I get them a little confused. Can we break down what it means to reject the prospect? And then also, what does it mean then to go opposite?
I think there's something with our approach to most prospects. We subconsciously most of us are trained to be totally subservient to the prospect. Give them everything they want, answer all their questions, do all everything, be subservient. But as your doctor, your lawyer, we say we're also professionals. Is your doctor, your lawyer, your accountant, your financial advisor, are they subservient to you as a professional? Is that a good way? Do you want someone to be subservient to you that you seek advice from?
Nope.
Sure.
No, not at all.
Why?
That would be no.
Give me the why.
I need to trust this person. I need to know that they know more than me. Otherwise, I'd fix it myself.
Yeah, Alex, I don't know if this is going to work, man. I've never done this operation before. We're going to court. I don't know anybody, the prosecutor, the judge. I've never tried a case before, but I'll do my best. Let me see. Is that the way you want your professional to sound?
No, you're fired.
You're fired. So what happens when, as a professional, and we go to a prospect, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm doing anything you want. Don't worry about it. Me, who cares? But you, what goes on in the mind of a prospect who's inundated by salespeople like this all day long?
We become less than.
Yeah. Justin, Mr. Chambliss, you got a problem. Sir, maybe I can help you. You mind if I ask a few questions first, see if we can fix this? Otherwise, I've got to go. Boom. So the thing about it is, act like a professional, ask questions, take the high road. Don't take the subservient road, because by nature, human beings are going to beat you up all day long. They're going to take advantage of your sweet nature, Justin, which you have. Okay, now redirection. I love redirection.
This is the opposite, right? This is going opposite, right? Redirection.
What do you mean? Help me out here. I'm not sure if I understand.
When you're talking about the guts moves, you were just talking.
What did I just do to Justin?
Yeah, there you go.
Redirect.
I redirected. Can you help me? I'm not sure if I understand all these good things. Redirection is a fancy word. I'm a psychobabbler. I love studying human behavior. Why do people do the crazy shit they do sometimes, okay? Do you know that people who walk their dogs and take paper bags and plastic and they pick up the stuff now? I mean, people are crazy. There's things like that going. I love to study why people do the things that they do. And if we can do the opposite or go in the other direction, what does that force them to do? Gee, Justin, I'm not sure if, why would you don't really want to sell your home, do you? It's a nice home. You want to keep it, don't you?
Actually, no, I really want to sell it. Yeah.
I don't understand. You've been in Independence, Missouri. Isn't that the home of Harry Truman?
It's the Garden of Eden. Yeah.
Garden of Eden. It's a great little town. I've been to Independence, by the way. You have an awesome museum there. You've been there for years, all your life. You don't want to really leave. You don't want to leave. You don't want to sell that. Why would you want to sell a beautiful home there?
That's powerful.
Why would you want to do that? Role play.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got this new opportunity for work in a different state, and
but not right away. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. That's congratulations on that. You don't have to move right away, do you?
Well, I'm supposed to be there within 30 days, and I know that's not a lot of time to get this done. I was hoping I could have the house sold by then, but if we can, I guess I might end up just renting it out.
Yeah, that's what you do. Tenants always pay on time and take care of the property. And you're moving, 1,000 miles away. So I'm sure there's no issues to watch your property or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Off the role plate. What am I doing? What am I doing here? What am I doing? Am I going in the opposite direction of the average? Most salespeople are very direct. I'm going to go in the opposite way. Why? This is the big why question.
How do you say it without sounding smart ass?
Let them tell you.
I kind of sound, I feel like when I do this technique, Claude, I come off a little smart ass sounding.
I am a smart ass. But here's the thing. Part of being a great gut salesman is also being a great actor, thespian, the word I use. Okay, you've got to play a role. We're on a stage. Shakespeare said all the world's a stage. We're all actors in it. When you're speaking to someone, it is your job to play a role. So how do you want to make that prospect feel? I mean, you got to be a good actor too. What happens if we're a bad actor? oh, this person's
Right.
playing me, right? Oh, he's
Right.
trying to get something from me. This is right. But if you're a good actor, okay, I don't mean to brag, but I was an onion in 3rd grade. Okay. What is the wait, nobody else played a fruit or a vegetable in elementary school?
I don't even know what that means.
I played Santa Claus.
I
What?
played a rabbit.
You played a rabbit. Who was the rabbit? Victor?
Yep.
Okay. What's the purpose? What do we want to do with that prospect? Do we want to make them comfortable? Do we want to make them like us? Do we want to make them respect our knowledge, our time, our professionality like they would a doctor or a lawyer? Okay. So we've got to put a little bit of good persuasion acting skills together with that redirection. Let me hear you do a redirection, Justin. Let's reverse the role play here.
Let's try it. Okay. Where should I begin, Claude?
Let's see. Gee, I'd like to buy your I'd like to buy your home. I've been living in my mother-in-law's basement here for 6 years, and I think it.
You say your mother-in-law's?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet you guys are, having a great time over there. Why not just stay there?
Well, did you ever live in your mother-in-law's basement for 6 years with 5 chihuahuas?
Oh, I love my mother-in-law. Don't you?
Well, yes, I have to say that. My wife's standing right by me here right now. No, I do love my mother-in-law. But what about the 5 chihuahuas?
Yeah, 5 chihuahuas. Man, they sound wonderful to me. I love dogs. I've got 2 myself.
Okay.
I don't know where am I going with this, Claude?
You would be going, let's reverse the role. Let's
Okay.
180.
Yeah.
Justin, stay in your mother-in-law. You're probably not paying rent. It's free. She probably cooks for you, free laundry. Stay in that basement with the puppies. What's the big deal?
No, I can't. This is just, it's horrible for my relationship and in every way. I got no privacy. I need to really make a move here and be the hero again.
Oh,
I don't know if any of that makes sense, but it's just time. We're gonna get something, and I want it to be this.
But there's no sense of urgency, right? I mean, this isn't something you want to do right now in the next 30 days or less.
I wanted to be out of here last month, so yeah, we could move this weekend.
Let me ask you an important question. It's okay to say no to me, but suppose we could get you into a good home in a good neighborhood. The puppy's got a backyard. You're in a nice house. You've got privacy. You got a little gas fireplace. You got a beautiful kitchen to entertain your guests and everything. I don't suppose that's exactly what you're looking for, though.
Yeah, that's actually.
And it met with your budget too. Can you imagine all that happening? What would you say to me next?
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do, Claude. Can we do that right away?
I don't know. I don't know. That's Can I ask you a few more questions? You mind if we talk about money for a minute?
I got to get better at that right there. That's beautiful right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else loves that, but I do.
And this is the art and the science. It's an art and science of redirection. Most people I think the right term is linear. They're very direct. I'm indirect. I want Justin to be here. This is the takeaway. I want Justin, the prospect, to become the salesperson. What happens when you go on the opposite? What does that force Justin to do? This is good stuff.
It forces me to fight the current to go the direction I want to go with this. I feel like that's at least how I feel when you do it to me.
It forces you to justify.
Right. Defend his position.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Somebody else who was speaking? Go ahead, Victor.
That was me. I said, defend his position now.
I love that glass of wine. Did you bring enough for everybody?
I did. That's why it's so big.
By the way, everybody, Mr. Walker there, the gentleman with the ocean and the glass of wine behind him, does a wonderful role play Wednesday, right, Victor?
That's right. Role play Wednesdays.
10 o'clock Pacific, I think, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Correct.
And that's on zoomjustin.com. And that's one of the extra benefits of belonging to this very unique little Guts VIP group that we have. Practice is the key to getting everything you really want. I mean, if you want to sleep well at night, if you want prosperity, you got to practice. Okay, I could tell you all the books to read and all the stuff, even my stuff. But if you practice on a regular basis, even with a prospect that how many people here have gotten prospects on the phone, you know you're not going to sell them. You know there's no deal there. And why don't we stay on the phone and just practice with them a little bit more? Doesn't that make sense? Practice makes perfect in this business. Justin, I'm sorry, I'm a man of few words.
No, you're doing great, Claude. You're doing great. I'm picking up a lot of good things out of this.
Good question.
I'm really interested in how to step on their toes. Okay, that's one of the Guts moves on the wheel here. Step on their toes. What is this, and how do we express this to the prospect? And when is it, or is this something that we use like seasoning, like salt? We just occasionally here and there, or, can you break this down a little bit for me? Step on their toes, Guts move.
It's okay to tell a prospect, listen, I made a decision, Justin, I think it's over. Why do I feel that way?
I don't know, Claude.
I want to do business with you, but you keep answering maybes, probablys, and everything like that. I don't want to waste your time, sir. I'm ready to I'm a professional investor and lease purchase consultant. I want to do a deal. I want to do a deal with you today, but why do I get this feeling? Why are you obfuscating on all my questions? Yeah. I'm waiting, sir.
Yeah.
That's stepping on their toe. Here's the problem that we have. True or false? Question to the group. The prospect has a wonderful operational default system. True or false?
Very true.
Yeah.
What does that mean? The prospect has a default system. What does that mean?
They automatically want to say no.
Well, go ahead.
Get as much information out of you as possible without giving you a commitment.
There we go.
Guarantee.
Yeah. But the prospect, we've been prospects, right? What happens when we're just looking, we're just shopping around, we don't know the prices, we don't know the best. A lot of people here, do we like to shop around before we make a purchase, maybe an expensive one? We're buying a car. Before I buy a car, I like to do a lot of research, ask a lot of questions. How do most salespeople react to a prospect seizing control, asking a lot of questions, and then dismissing the salesperson? Do prospects do that? All day long, don't they?
What they do best.
Yeah, they got the prospects have a great system. They pick our brain, they shop around, and then they dismiss us, or they go on witness protection. They ghost us, as Victor always says. So what do we have to do to offset that system? We got to force them to use our system. We got to force them to pay attention to us. We've got to force them to give us information willingly. We've got to force them to see us in a different light, not just another telemarketer, another guy calling about real estate or life insurance or whatever you're selling. We've got to change the environment. How do we do that? We've got to all upset their system. Sir, I'd be glad. Go ahead, Justin. Act like a prospect.
Okay. I think I would. I'm just kind of shopping around right now and checking some prices and kind of finding out what people offer and things like that. So, yeah, that's why I called you today.
Oh, okay. Tell me how you and I can do business today, sir. What would be the perfect storm for you so you and I could make a commitment and solve this problem today? What do you need for you and I to do business right now?
Well, I guess the right price is probably the
good for you, sir. Stroke and nurture, stroke and nurture. Always remember that. So would you say the right price, sir? Help me. I'm not Kreskin. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I need something that I don't know. I don't want to spend too much money here.
Nobody does. I hate spending money. God, yeah, absolutely. Why don't you just live with the problem anyway? Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest? I forgot the role play.
I'm looking to buy something here.
Just go out and buy it. Go to Century 21, go to Remax. They got plenty of properties. What's holding you back?
Well, these it's crazy right now. I'm having a hard time finding a deal, and I want a deal.
What's a deal mean? I'm sorry.
Well, I need to get something that's at least got 15% equity still in it, and I can cash flow $400 or $500 a month.
Okay.
And I'm just, you got anything like that you could help me with, or?
Let's pretend for a moment I did. Just pretend for a moment. You mind if I just ask you one or two quick questions, and then you ask me a few more questions, and we'll make a decision if we can do business. You mind if we just talk about money for a minute?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. What just happened? Did I offset? Justin was obviously in charge. And then I went back to the gut sales method. And what was the first step in the gut sales system that I just did?
Take back control.
Right. But we have a name for that in the gut sales method.
Redirect.
Redirect.
No.
The agenda.
The first step in the staircase of success.
Agenda.
Thank you. Who said agenda? Thank you. We set the agenda. The agenda is like the umpire before the football, baseball, soccer game, the boxing ring. There's always somebody who sets the rules. Do you think you're showing an air of professionality and authority when you're setting up the rules? Someone say yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you. So, Justin, this is the way we're going to behave. This is the way what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to ask me questions with your permission, of course, stroke and nurture. I always talk about that. Okay. And then we're going to find out how we can do business. And if not, you can fire me or I'll just leave. Is that all right with you? You always end in a question too. And then I go to what's really important, because Justin was playing the perfect ambiguous prospect. He wanted 15% under. He didn't want to spend much per month. What's the number one thing we should talk about in the beginning that all amateur salespeople talk about at the end?
Money.
Thank you, Jimmy. Why should we talk about money in the beginning?
To see if you're actually able to purchase or not.
Because, baby, if they ain't got money, are we going to do a deal? Are we going to be able to buy our Twinkies today?
Nah, you won't be able to go to the Hip National Bank.
Amen. Amen. Justin, did I answer your question about the process? Stepping on the toes basically means you have to take control. You have to sometimes, is it okay to fire the prospect? There's nothing there. They have no money. They're living in a little dreamland. Okay, there's nothing you're going to get from them except maybe a practice session. Do we have the right to fire the prospect? That's what stepping on the toes means.
Yeah.
Do we have the right? Do we have rights in the sales process, Justin?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's flip the script, Claude, and
What's your language? What's your language? We don't use scripts here.
Yeah. Let's
Dan and I had that talk last Saturday or something, Sunday.
That's right. Saturday.
No scripts allowed. Sorry, Justin.
Let's talk about flipping the coin over to the other side then, and talk about the homeowner, because I call a lot of homeowners, and I want to be able to, because here's I think maybe what I'm really searching for in this conversation is the high self-esteem, the chutzpah. How do you say it?
Chutzpah. Think like you're gonna spit, and you just had
Chutzpah.
you just drank a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. What's gonna happen to your throat?
Yeah. Okay. And then no servitude, stepping on their toes.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. I want to bring that into the conversation, into the agenda. I want to hit the conversation right off the top with the high self-esteem, with the balls to the max, the ability to reject the prospect, to to deny them, to play the opposite move, and then immediately get into the money. Okay, so here's what's been happening. I talk to the homeowner. Yeah, I pre-qualify them or disqualify them in 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
During the qualification stage. I get into the closing stage. They inevitably always want to talk about cash. Can I make a cash offer? Okay. The answer is usually, Mr. Homeowner, I can't make a cash offer unless it's you want to hear a low one. You want me to make you mad, or you want me to just tell you that's probably not going to work for you? It probably won't, because I know this guy's wanting full price for a pretty house, and he's not going to take a 50 cents on a dollar kind of offer from me. So I go through all of that, and then I'll back out. I'll say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, it looks like this cash thing's a dead deal. It's not going to be a great fit for me or you, so let's take it off the table real quick before I go. And then I transition into lease options. But see, this is happening all the way at the tail end of the conversation, right? So how can I reorganize a little here? Inquiring some, including some of these guts moves to go in that direction much earlier in the conversation. Do you have any advice for me on that?
I think it's a great question. I'm
looking for lease purchases. I didn't say that, but just so everybody knows.
Okay. I mean, what does every guru at every firewalker, every motivational seminar in real estate say? Find the motivated seller, right? And we have to determine what is their level of what I call it is the EQ, the emotional quotient. Sales is all about emotion. You guys have heard me. You're new guys here. Most salespeople sell intellectually, we sell emotionally first. Get the information, get a commitment, and then we do the intellectual part. How the deal should be structured and everything else. But the first thing I've got to find out is, what is their EQ, their emotional quotient? Are they a 1, a 5, or a 10? 10 meaning it's urgent, like that one role play, the first one you did, Justin. Yeah, I'm moving, I got a new job, I got to be in East Bumble, Arkansas in 30 days. Yeah. Okay, I love that guy because I know there's a level of motivation there, and I'm going to make him even more miserable. Sir, I had a friend, same problem as you. Oh my God, he moved 1,000 miles away. His house was empty, and a bunch of street people with 10 chihuahuas moved into it, and he couldn't get them out, and he lost his home, and oh God, it was horrible. I'm going to try to make him even. I'm going to try to make him even more emotional. Okay, so the first thing to determine is their level of emotion in this. That's why we do the redirection. Sir, what's the big deal? Get a realtor, or why do you don't really want to sell your home, or sir, you don't want to buy a home. You're living for free in your mother-in-law's attic or something like that. We always go to, because I want to hear them tell me their level of motivation, so I can determine, do I have to find more needs, create more needs, exacerbate their existing problem? We need to work on making the prospect more motivated, or we got to put more pain into the deal. If their pain is very low and we can't change it, well, I want all cash and I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah.
Are you really going to sell? Are you going to get that guy to do something creatively?
No.
No. 3 words I'll teach you: price or term. Something I say very early to all. I'm very transparent, to use a great millennial word. When I speak to a prospect, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I'm looking to do business today. I'm a private investor. Do you want your price, or do you want your price, or do you want terms? Tell me, what are you looking for? Cash, or would you like more money, but I need terms? And I'll be glad to explain that to you. What are you looking for? What would make you happy today?
Cash. We want cash.
That's great. And your house, and I think your house is what, $300,000?
Yeah, $299. I'll go down to $295 right now if you.
Aren't you? Wow, you're a regular Monty Hall. Who knows? Who knows who Monty Hall is? Quick. Does anyone remember Monty Hall?
Let's make a deal.
That's it.
Let's make a deal.
Yes, I love trivia. He was he was from Canada, I believe. So we've got to get back into the negotiation with him. Sir, I'm a private investor, and one of the things that's important to me is the time value of money. Would you like to close in the next 30 days? Is that the dream? In order for me to do that, I would need, we need to do this deal for 250, all cash, 30-day close. Could you live with that? Please don't get mad at me.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a haircut.
Yeah,
I mean, you're scalping me there, man.
Okay. Now listen, it's okay to say no to me. Would you like to say no?
Yeah.
I can take
no,
it.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay,
is no.
sounds good.
Yeah.
How about you want 299? How about I give you 300? Would you like 300,000 instead? And I'll pick up the closing costs.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'd like. Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what. Can we structure this? Is this an investment property or your own home, sir?
No, I don't. It's actually a house that I inherited, and I don't need it and don't want it. It's been sitting there empty for 6 months, and
okay, it's free and clear. I'm making a big assumption. It's free and clear.
Yep.
What if I sent you an offer today for $300,000? What would you? And I'll pick up the closing. I'll pick up the closing costs. What would you say to me next?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm asking for it on Zillow. So if you want to make a cash offer for that sounds great. I'd say let's do it.
I didn't say a cash offer, sir. I'd like to make an offer for $300,000. I'll tell you what, off the role play. Did you hear? I didn't negotiate the deal yet, but does everybody see? I gave him one potato chip. What happened when I said, what if I could give you $300,000 and pick up the closing costs? What did I get from Justin? And that was a really good role play, by the way.
You say
Anybody?
Yeah, yes.
What did I
yeah.
pick up?
For 300,000, yes, I could do it. Yes.
I got a yes. What's another wonderful word for the word yes?
Commitment.
Commitment.
We got a commitment. Now here's another rule. It might be on Justin's list. You can fix it later. So now he doesn't want cash, he wants price. So now we go into terms. What are different ways we can do it? We could do a lease purchase. It's free and clear. So why don't we do owner finance? Why don't we negotiate an owner finance deal? Okay, Mr. Chamness, can I call you Justin? My name's Claude.
Yes, please do.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you the $300,000 if you hold the mortgage, just like a bank, and I'll make you principal only payments every month for the next 60 months. And then a balloon at the end and you get the balance of your money. Could you live with that?
I don't know what that means monthly wise, but actually, that's something I thought of. It might be a good solution for me because of this tax thing I'm kind of worried about. So
tell you what, I'll even are you the decision maker in this process, sir, or is there a Mrs. Chamness?
I am the decision maker. I'm the only one.
Got to be careful with that question. I could be talking to Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know,
Sure.
So our next California governor, by the way. Don't shake your head, Chris. I saw that. Don't shake your head.
Maybe you'll get on the Wheaties box again.
Yes. Who knows? I'm not going there. We're not going there, Jason.
Okay.
That's for Beer with Claude Friday talks.
Fair enough.
This is the family session. What? Where were we? I lost my train of thought here. I'm going to negotiate with you. Let's go back in the role play for one. I'll tell you what, Mr. Chamness. If you can make a decision right now, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $300,000. I'll give you monthly payments, and I'll give you 6% interest, accumulated interest on your money for the next 60 months with a balloon. It means you'll get a check every month. You'll be getting 6% interest. Your bank only pays maybe 1% if you're lucky. I'm going to give you 6%. If you will hold the mortgage, you will get money every month. And your property is now sold without a realtor, without closing costs, and you got $1,000 over your asking price. Can we do a deal, sir? I'm very busy. I have to go in a minute.
Yeah, that sounds good. You say 20% down?
No, I did not. Where did you hear that?
Oh, well.
Where'd that come from? The universe? Where'd you hear that?
No, it sounds like sounds good to me. Except I'm going to need a pretty pretty decent down payment if I'm going to be the bank.
No, I'm sorry. I'll tell you what, when you say a decent down payment,
Yeah, about
What is that?
20%.
What-
Yep,
20%,
20% I think is going right. Yeah.
20%. Can we divide that 20% over the 5 years? And every year you'll get a supplemental amount of, you'll get an additional someone do the math for me. I think
Yeah,
it's 4,000.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I could.
You've gotten
I
everything.
could do that.
You've gotten everything you asked for, sir. Can we do a deal today? Yes or no? Because I got to leave.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll send you a contract right now from Hello Sign. Could you get it back to me before 4:30?
Yes.
You're a gentleman, sir. I'll look forward. I'll send it to you in the next hour. Boom. This is what this is gut selling, by the way.
Yeah.
This stuff really happens. I make offers. Now, if I find out the house is damaged or something else, that'll come out in my due diligence. But, you know, the thing about it is, can we get a commitment? Can we negotiate a deal? Can we negotiate finance and everything else? If I find out something else later on, I'll come back to the table and renegotiate. But most people do the opposite. What do? We run around, we go to the property, we do all this research and time and everything else. You know, when I you know, I want to find out if I have a real hot prospect in the first phone call, if I can really do a deal. Does that make sense, Justin?
Absolutely, it does.
Let's go to the next question. My answers
Absolutely.
are way too long. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing fine. I've got a hard stop at the top of the hour. I've got another meeting I have to be in, but
This is a 1 hour show, man.
yeah,
That's it.
great.
By the way, if anyone has a question, put it in the chat box there. And let's talk about Justin Chamness is a superstar in the business, right? He's a guts licensee. He's also, he won't admit it, but he's probably one of the nicest guys in this business. And he does answer his own phone.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let's talk about get a dog, Harry. Get a dog, Harry. Why
Yeah.
Harry?
Harry,
Why not
Truman.
Frank?
You must have heard of someone. I think he was from Independence, Missouri. His name was Harry Truman.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Harry Truman, when he was president, had a little plaque on his desk. He says, if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog. And what he basically in guts, we're not in business to be free consultants all day long. I love it. One of the greatest psychological triggers is to get the prospect to like us. But why? Once again, I always go back to the basic, the foundation of guts. Why are we in business?
To make money today.
Yes, thank you. So do we want to make friends? It's nice when we can do business in a friendly, congenial manner, of course. But should we let people manipulate us, lie to us, pick our brain, tell us they'll think about us, and all the manipulation of the prospect system that we talked about earlier? Or should we get right to the point and stop worrying about talking about baseball scores and things and the weather and all that other jazz?
Yeah. Yeah.
So get right to the point. Sir, first thing I say to people is a pattern interrupt. Okay. Sir, I'd like to do business with you. Sir, that house must have sold by now. Mr. Chamness, why am I calling you? You know, I want to shock them. I want to get information. I want to make an offer, or I want to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. How do we, when we're getting started here and we don't have maybe any track record at all of success in the endeavor we're pursuing, let's say it's real estate wholesaling, real estate investing, how do we pick up the phone and have that kind of mind frame, man, of reject it because I need the sale so damn bad, Claude? How do I reject this? See, even though I know I should, it's hard to. How do I train my brain, I guess is what I'm asking. You know, does that make sense, or is that a philosophical question?
I went to a great university. Who knows what college I went to? My favorite university. Who knows? Little Claude trivia here.
Hard knocks.
That's the other school. That was my undergrad. My graduate program, my doctorate.
Well,
My
fake it till
doctoral.
you make it.
Say it again, Jimmy. Say it loud. Say
Fake
it
it till you
proud.
make it.
Fake it till you make it. I know I tick off my millennials when I say that. Fake it until you make it. Not to lie, not to be manipulative. What is the personality that a prospect wants? Oh, I don't know, Justin. I never did this before. I'll try to make it work.
Right.
What's the personality? Okay, and nobody believes me, but I'm
Confidence and authority.
What was that?
Confidence and authority.
Thank you, Sean. You've got to act confident. Nobody wants the doctor says, I don't know, you may die here.
Claude, hold on. Traditional sales teaches us the wrong way, okay? To build rapport for the first 10, 15 minutes, maybe, talking about if you're at a house, talking about the collectibles they have on the mantle and the pictures on the wall and the blah 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 and waste time.
Yeah.
And that's what they call building rapport. But you're building rapport through what Sean just said, through that trust and professionalism, and it's a different kind of rapport, right?
It's a different kind of rapport. Listen, I want to speak to people. I want to make offers. I've done the rapport type of selling back in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And you have these great conversations. You give away all this free consultation. And then the prospect says what all prospects say when they want to get off the phone politely.
I want to think about it.
I'll think about it.
I'll get back to you.
I'll get back to you. I'm going to
Call me
talk to my
tomorrow.
wife. Right. All those objections and stalls. I believe there's a way to do rapport, but not waste a lot of time. We call that stroking and nurturing. These are psychological terms. A stroke is a sincere compliment. Oh, Justin, I love that t-shirt, man. That's really great and everything. Where did you get that shirt? Hey, listen, before we get stuck on that, I've got to go in a few minutes though. Would you like to sell that home today? Would you like to, suppose I could give you that, the price you want, you hold the note and we make payments on that. You wouldn't be comfortable with that, would you? Boom, I get right to it. So I give them a stroke, or I'll nurture them a little. And nurture is basically where you make it emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, but we waste too much time, and they're still teaching this. Ask for the order 5 times, a bonding and rapport for 10, 15, 30 minutes. I'm sorry, that's not the way to go to the bed. Yes, we want it to be a friendly conversation, but we got to get to the point. Question?
Claude,
Yes.
did you just did that stop and go when you was referring to the shirt? Did you do that stop and go?
You recognize that. Tell everybody tell everybody what the gut stop and go technique is.
Well, from my understanding, the stop and go, you're talking about one thing and you switch the conversation to something else, and then you go back into what you really want to say.
And what's the $10 word that describes everything you just said?
I believe let's get to the point right now.
Yeah, there's a wonderful word. I can't spell it. Who knows what it is? Starts with an O.
Chutzpah.
Oh, that's a
Obfuscation.
obfuscation. Everybody look up the word obfuscation. Okay, it's basically when did you ever ask a prospect a direct question and they don't answer it and they totally change the subject, or they turn your question into a question? Remember, I said prospects have a wonderful system. It works very well for them. So unless you're doing what they're doing and take control without them seeing it, you're just going to end up doing too much bonding and rapport. So a stop and go. Justin, ask me a question. How come I can't afford a haircut? I don't anything,
Sorry, Claude. I don't. You're starting to look like Fraggle Rock, man. What's wrong with the haircut people in your town?
It's a great question. I'm really glad you brought that up. Before I get to that, though, why are we talking today?
Well, actually, I had a question or two about how this business works.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you about that. And is there a way you and I can do business at the conclusion of our conversation?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. You mind if we talk about money you don't have a budget to make this all work, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you wouldn't mind sharing that for a second, round numbers, in terms of cash, credit, things like that. Help me out a little here.
Yeah.
You mind if I take notes while we're talking?
That's fine. I got $30,000 in cash I'd like to put into a deal, invest it somewhere safe and get some nice returns on it too.
Did I ever answer his question about my Fraggle Rock haircut?
That's a great way to just cut off the chain of thought there, the train of thought.
Yeah, great. You
Yeah.
give a stroke. Great question. Glad you brought that up. And then you just move it to someplace else. And who's in control?
What'd you say before I answer that? Let me ask you, well, how did you make that transition? What was the stop and go?
Great question. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people, just before I forget though, and that's a stop and go.
Yeah. That's going to make me a lot of money, Claude. I'll tell you what, I get caught up in that. And people ask me questions and dang it, I want to answer them.
Great question.
And I got to quit that.
Stroke. Just give them a stroke. Great question. Glad you brought it up. Only my smartest clients ask that type of question. Wait, why did you bring that up? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Always turn a question into another question. But make sure you stroke and nurture first. Because if we just ask questions like we're cross-examining, is that a little abrasive to the prospect?
Yes.
Yeah. So always stroke and nurture. Great question. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I was just talking to my wife about that same topic today. Boom. That's stroking. How about when I told you, you mind if I take some notes? This is really, these are pearls. What happens when you go to a prospect and you say, I want to? How important is it to get the prospect to like, trust, and respect you? And you've only got seconds, maybe once in a while you get minutes, but you only got a few seconds in the very beginning to get to that wonderful place. You called it rapport, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. We got about 10 minutes left before the top of the hour here, Claude. I bet there's I bet there's questions and, comments and feedback from the gallery here. We haven't really asked for any, probably ought to.
Anybody have a question? Put it in the chat box or jump in.
The stuff we're talking about is on the back of this book, you guys. Somebody wanted to know how they get it. I think everybody in the VIP club here has it. How to sell with guts.
If you're one of my students, you just send me a text. If you're not a student, because I invited some of my friends here from the Naked Investor, and you just go to my webpage and just click on the button. You can either buy it or you can get it for free if you want to schedule a 15-minute session with me also.
If you got $20 or whatever it costs, this one right here will change your life, though.
Oh, Gut Sales Method Rules. Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah. That was my pre-pandemic book. That's the rule. So if your life sucks, it's your fault. All the rules, all about accountability and stuff like that. The Mentor Teaches Success is another one of my books. Lease Purchasing for the 21st Century. The Lease Purchase Bible. What was I taught? My Christmas book. Everybody's got to write a Christmas book. Christmas Carol. What was it called? The Lease Purchase Christmas Carol or something like that. Yeah. I don't even remember the title. And it's about a guy who's visited by 3 dead real estate agents on Christmas Eve. It's good stuff. Anybody have a question? Let's go to open forum for me or Justin. Listen to the crickets. Sean, play the cricket music.
I'll throw a question out there, Claude. When you're qualifying a prospect, we're using redirection. You guys did a great role play with that. One of the things that I find is, you redirect the prospect once, maybe twice, and they're still not being honest or transparent with you when you're doing your redirection?
Wow.
How would you say that we should like continue to, because you say get 3 to 6 needs and greeds. How would you advise us to kind of continue to use those reverse psychology tactics in order to kind of really pull that information out of the prospect?
I think it's a great question. Thank you. I think it's going back to stepping on their toes. When the prospect obfuscates, you ask them a question, very simple. I like simple, short questions blended with a little stroking or nurturing. But some prospects will not answer a direct question, or they'll answer with the famous wishy-washy words, right? And this is the prospect going back to their system. Why do they block? Why do they not want to answer your questions? Because they don't want to reveal that they have no money, or they're not the decision maker, or they're not ready to do a deal. They're holding back their cards. In poker, do we show our cards to, 5-card stud? Do we show our cards to the other players? They're nice fellas, right? No. So they play their cards very close. So what you have to do is what we call a guts move. Listen carefully. A guts move is basically where you step on your toes. You say something that most salespeople would never say. Hey, Mr. Chris Scott, I'm a little, sir, I asked you a question about your house, how many bedrooms they're in, and you haven't answered it. I've asked you 3 times. Why are we having this problem communicating, sir?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm just trying.
Did you hear it? Time out. I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you hear what he just said? Did anyone pick that up? Because the prospects do this stuff all the time.
To be honest.
Yes.
Finally, be honest.
They always say, what does that mean when they say, well, to be perfectly honest, to be frank, to be on, what does that mean? Is the drawbridge coming down a little bit?
Yes. He wasn't telling the truth in the beginning.
Yes.
When we get started. Yeah.
This is going to be a shock to everybody. And Justin, this might upset you. Get your boohoo tissues ready. Sometimes prospects lie.
All the time.
Show everybody your tissue box there. What does it say? My tissues are bigger than yours. I love it. So Chris, I think sometimes in a conversation, you have to be, I'm a student of transactional analysis, Dr. Eric Byrne, and sometimes we play different emotional ego state roles. Sometimes we're the child, we're very emotional, we're inexperienced. Sometimes we're the parent, we're very nurturing or very controlling. And sometimes we have to be the adult in the room. The adult is the Uberman, the Superman. The adult is the person who's mature, who's non-emotional. Say, sir, I'm trying to do business with you here, and I need some information. I'd like to buy your home, but for some reason, why aren't I keep asking you the same question? What's the balance of your mortgage? Is that an improper question, sir?
Well, yeah, I just don't feel that comfortable sharing that information.
I'm a stranger. Good for you, sir. Stroke. Good for you, sir. You don't know me. I'll tell you what, can we go on Zoom, or you don't have an iPhone, do you?
Yeah, I have.
Why don't we get on iPhone? We'll go on to FaceTime. Let me show you my bad haircut, and I'll give you whatever you need references. You want to check my credit or my corporation's credit? I want you to feel so good about me that we can have an open dialogue, and you can sell it, and we can do business today. Does that make a difference, or should I leave you alone?
Yeah, no, that would make a big difference.
Good for you, sir. Thank you. You're a gentleman. I appreciate it. Boy, I'm going to call you on my iPhone right now. See, you've got to draw a line in the sand once in a while. You know what's the best thing about the gut sales method? It builds your confidence. You get to fire the prospect. You get to use scarcity, reciprocity. You get to use these. What happens to everybody's on 2 martinis and sodium pentothal right now? Okay. Okay, what's the truth of the matter is, who's in control of this whole process?
Me.
Yeah, you got to be in control. You've got to be willing. And what happens when we're getting the you-know-what beat out of us all day long? We're getting rejection, manipulation, lying. They hang up on us. We get voicemails. What happens to our spirit?
It goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the baby agrees. See? There you go. You've got to, the secret of my success is I love making phone calls and I look at it as a challenge to get some, to see if I can have an adult to adult conversation with another person and without getting the, you-know-what kicked out of me. Because if I'm honest with myself, I hate rejection. Does anyone here love rejection? No. So if I can have phone calls with people where I laugh, I have fun, maybe I'll do a deal. A lot of times, maybe not a deal, but I'm having good conversations with people. I can keep going doing business. I can make another phone call. I can go from day to day to day. The death of this business is inconsistency.
Claude, I got to run. I love you, dude.
Where are you going, man?
Thank you.
How far are you going to run? I ran 12 miles today.
I got to run over here to this other Zoom room
I'm
and
going
do
to
another
let you
session.
go. Hey, everybody,
Thank you, sir.
how's everybody find Justin? Go to YouTube, right?
Yeah, or realestatewholesalersclub.com or YouTube, or just Google me or whatever.
12 miles, baby. Look at that number.
Yeah, that's great, Claude. I'll see you later. Love you guys. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. One of the good guys in this business, Justin Chamness. What's your webpage again? Oh, we lost him. There we go.